About once a month, somebody will send me their homework to do. And by homework, I mean they've been set an assignment for school or college to ask some questions of someone. And because I'm an internet famous juggler, when people want to know about what it's like to be a professional juggler, I'll get a series of questions. And it's always a bit difficult for me to answer all these questions quickly because I end up typing too much. And then in the end, only one person will benefit, and that's the person who's got that homework assignment right then. So I thought from now on, if people send me their homework questions to do, I'm just going to reply to them by video, so other people can benefit and can use this in their homework. In this case, someone wants to know about my photography as it relates to juggling photography for a photography class, and this is from Japhet Isaac from Mexico. He says, this is a little questionnaire about your photography history. Please tell me your history to start the photography. Question number one, how did I start to do photography? I started off with a camera a bit like this, which is a video camera, which is really, really bad for taking photos, but I had this machine called a Sony Mavic, which is you could plug in the video output from this, and then you press a button and it would capture that photograph onto a floppy disk, and then you take the floppy disk out and then put it onto your computer, and then I'd shrink it down to get rid of the different effects and things, and then upload them. And the first big convention that I ever went to, I had my video camera, and I made a point of going to as many shows as I could, going to as many workshops, getting as much footage, mainly not to share the video but to share the photography, and lots of people really enjoyed that photography. And back in the day, there wasn't, in about 2000, there wasn't a lot of photography of jugglers and juggling events around, and so because I had this digital video camera which captured on tape and the Mavic app, it was a great way to share it. And from then on, I got some point and shoot cameras and digital cameras, and then I got a DSLR camera, and since then I've had maybe 4 or 5 other DSLR cameras. This is the kind of thing that I use now, and yeah, I just really enjoy sharing my photography with the world. Question number 2, why do you like to take photos? What I love about photography is that I can capture things which is impossible to capture with the human eye. And as a main example of that, it's not just about capturing a moment of time, it's actually catching a view. So what I love about photography most is about using 2 different lenses. First, the telephoto zoom lens, which is 70 to 300. And when you actually really zoom in on something, you can get a really close-up view, which is impossible to get with the naked eye if, say, a juggler is juggling on stage, and you can really zoom in and get the facial expressions in that moment. But what I also love to do is use the super wide angle, the lens which is currently on the video camera at the moment, which is all the way out to a 10mm lens. And for this, you can actually get a wider view than is possible for a human eye to catch, because a human eye is generally around about what, like the 35 to 50mm view is. This is how much you can pay attention to. Whereas with the 10mm lens, you can get a way more. And I love catching details around the juggler which wouldn't normally be visible. For example, you'll see a juggler on stage, and then you'll see the people in the audience watching the juggler on stage, and that's very satisfying for me to get that wider view and also the closer view, which is impossible to get with the normal view. So as soon as I have like a 35mm or 50mm lens on my camera, I kind of don't know what to do with it. I'm just like, well, this is boring. I can just use my eye and see exactly what this camera is seeing. But as soon as you start zooming in or getting really wide, that's one of my favorite things about photography that I like to do. Okay. Next up, question number 3, how do you feel taking photographs? I love taking photographs, especially when I'm at a juggling convention. I love going to a show and capturing and documenting in a moment, not just for me, but for other jugglers. I really enjoy going to like the open stages or gala shows and renegade shows or juggling games or whatever it is at juggling conventions, and capturing those moments in a way which is difficult for people to do if they're not there to take photographs. And even people who are there to take photographs often don't have the right technique or not sure what they're doing. But because I've got a lot of experience of taking photos of jugglers on stage, I think I can do a good job, and I really enjoy sharing those. Who is your favorite thing to take photos of? I guess jugglers, of course, that's what this video is about. I really enjoy taking photos of jugglers, and another reason I enjoy taking photos of jugglers on stage is that when I take photographs and the show is a bit boring, I can then just look down and sort of like cover the screen and flick back through and kind of get a different experience. I love the challenge of taking a really good photo of a show which is just boring everyone, and I know that's not a great thing to say, but that's one of those little benefits of doing that. But I also enjoy just taking photographs of other things I like doing. Photo shoots of jugglers not on stage, and also me. I enjoy doing photo projects where I take photos of myself, like set up some self-portrait and spend a lot of time taking photos in that way. I don't do that very much at the moment, but that is something I enjoy. And also I just enjoy like wildlife photography and landscapes and all that, and travel photography, which I do when I'm traveling. But at the moment I'm mostly doing video projects like with this vlogging and doing less photography when I'm out and about. What is your most important work that you have? Again, I think I mentioned this before with my juggling, is documenting the juggling scene and creating photos for other jugglers to use. That's one of my favorite things, is that I publish all of my photos on my blog in the full original resolution under Creative Commons license. So anyone can use them for anything and share them and use them on Facebook. And I say, if you want to use them for commercial purposes, just send me an email and ask permission. I invariably give permission. And this is a great way for me to kind of keep track of who's using their photos on their websites, in promo material, as part of, on posters and all these different kind of things. It's so great just to be able to say, yeah, this is great. And I get the feedback of people saying, can I do it for this? Can I use your photo for that? Can I use the photo? So I know that I'm doing a good service, or providing a good service, an important service for jugglers, being able to, just let them use the photos in this way. And of course with the video, doing something similar, hopefully at the moment, sort of like documenting different juggling events and different things in juggling with video. So I guess that's important. Number 6, what is your favorite style in photography? Yeah, I guess sort of like you could call it event photography. Something's happening live and I have one chance to get it correct. And I capture that moment, and it's a good photograph or it's gone. And with lots of other styles of photography, you have like another chance to do it. Like it's a fashion shoot or anything, like even a landscape shoot or anything. It's only if the sunset is going down, you've only got a certain amount of time to do it. Otherwise you can stay there until you get the shot. But when something's happening live, you've only got a certain amount of time to capture that moment and move on with it. So I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff. Question number 7, how much time do you do photography? More videos these days, but still when I'm at any event and I've got my camera, it'll probably be in my hand. I'm trying to capture those moments. So yeah, anytime I go to a juggling event. Not as much time as I did when I was really learning how to take photographs. I'd be out with my camera, I'd do photo projects where I'd go out with my camera every day, just going for walks in Berlin, kind of getting to know what's going on inside the camera, learning about the light and stuff. But now I feel like I've got to a level where if I want to improve more with my photography, I'd have to put in a lot more work and also a lot more money into the equipment. For example, this is just a normal Canon lens. If I go to the L series lens, suddenly it's like, oh, this is 3,000 euros for my lens. If I get like a different body instead of just going like these kind of semi-professional, prosumer level, the 60D and 80D bodies, if I start going up to the 5D Mark IV, whatever it's up to these days, he's talking about lots of money and a lot more time to get my photography level up to the next place, which I'm not sure if I'm going to do or not. Question number, suddenly says question number 10, so it goes from 7 to 10. I'm not sure why this is going. Let me just go back and look at the original email here. Oh no, he just misses out questions number 8 and 9. So 7, 10, show me your 10 favorite photographs you take. Well, I think finding 10 favorite photographs of mine is a bit difficult, but if you go to my blog, and actually I'll put some of the photos here, I guess, some of my favorite photographs each year of jugglers on stage, I collect into the jugglers calendar. So there's 12 photographs each year. I guess I'm picking out some of my favorites from that series of like 6 years of juggling calendar. I guess they can go here. Question number 11, why do you do juggling photography? What do you like more? Well, I like juggling more. It's what I do more of. It's my job. And when I got good at juggling photography, and not just juggling photography, when I got good at photography, 6, 7 years ago, whenever it was that I started getting good enough that people started going, oh, what kind of camera do you use? That's a really nice photo. What kind of camera do you use? Something that lots of photographers won't take as a compliment. I take it as a compliment if someone says, oh, that's a really nice camera. What they really mean is, I like your photographs. But when I started getting that, I was like, oh, maybe I could do photography as a job. But I read this article, which was sort of like the top 10 most stressful jobs as answered in this questionnaire by people who do those jobs. For example, it went through, things like firefighter, prison guard, emergency ward nurse, or whatever it is, and all these different and photographers. And it says, do you find your job stressful? And like for prison guards, it was like 80% of them found their job stressful, and emergency ward nurses are like going, 75% of them find their job stressful. And then it came to professional photographer, and it said 100% of professional photographers find their job stressful. And for me, coming as a professional juggler, looking at that going, Oh, how many professional jugglers find their job stressful? I mean, there is stress in the job, but generally my life as a professional photographer is not the most stressful thing. So because I'm a professional juggler, I can enjoy my photography as a hobby. I can enjoy it as as something I put a lot of passion into. But because I don't have to rely on it for my living or for any money at all, I actually enjoy it more being able to give away my photography for free. Creative Commons license. And if people want to pay me for some photography, that's fine. But it's not the main thing that comes into it. So because I'm a professional juggler, I can be a professional level photographer, but they don't need to compete against each other. So yeah, juggling is what I like more. Question number 12, or question number 10 I guess it is really, have you won any awards or recognition for photography? I guess I haven't won any awards, but what I do get some recognition for my photography in the juggling world, I guess you can say lots of people like my photos on Facebook. But more generally, I like it that, one milestone for me was when someone said, hey, can I use your photograph as the front cover of a magazine? And I'm like, okay, a juggling magazine. Let me have a look, which one was it? I guess it was issue maybe 51 of the juggling magazine, Italian juggling magazine, there it is. Weird photograph, but there it goes. There was one thing that I always wanted as both a juggler and a photographer is the Cascade magazine. I wanted to be either featured on the front cover of the Cascade magazine, and then I would have known I made it as a juggler. Also, I would have loved it if one of my photographs would be featured on the Cascade magazine front cover, and then I kind of felt like, oh, I've made it as a good photographer as well. And the very last issue of the Cascade magazine, issue number 112, a photo, not of me, but a photo of mine, was used there on the front cover, and I was like, that is really great. And it's also good as well, like when in Bruneck there was the EJC, and they said, hey, the local newspaper for their weekly magazine is looking for a photograph for the front cover. Can you send us one? I was like, yep, great, use any of these ones here from anything. You can use these photos just for free on my blog, and it's great to be able to provide that. Also, there was a photograph of me on the front cover that I took, which was a shoot that I did with, I was standing there, actually I'll just show the photo here, I'm standing there with these two mirrors, and there's different sides of me. I'm standing there, and one expression on one side is one thing, a different expression on the other side. I'm holding different things. You can see different things that I'm holding in the two different mirrors. There's no photoshopping. There's a slight, touching up, getting rid of some little errors, but there's no Photoshop in this image, photoshopping in this image of setting this up. It was like a single take. It took about 2 days to set up that shot. I was really proud of that, and I sent it off to the magazine. I think it was a South American magazine, Spanish language South American juggling magazine, and I sent it to them, and they then made this out of it, which kind of like took away the reason of doing it all. So they actually took out the mirrors and things, so you couldn't actually see the setup. But it's fun that photograph, that I could make something that somebody else could then play around with so much and create a new vision of the same photograph. And I still use the original of this photograph in promo shots and things like that. So that's an example of photos I've taken of myself in a way which takes a long time to set up. So that's the end of Javet's questions. I hope you enjoyed this little look into me being a photographer, a juggling photographer. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time.